Hello, hello, hello. What's going on? Morning, good morning. Afternoon, afternoon. Is it morning, afternoon? I think it's afternoon now. I need to check my time before I start saying stuff. Corey, what's going on, brother? Amy, Tamsin, Macabre, how you guys doing? VJ, Carolyn, NG, Chester, Lady. Hope everybody's doing well today. Ryan, what's going on, bud? Oh, actually. That didn't sound good. Oh, here dropping stuff. Oh, I'm doing all right. I got a little headache today, but I'm surviving. That's because I stayed up too late. That's all that was. I stayed up too late, so now I have to pay the price. I have to pay the price. Such is life. I need to clean my keyboard. That is I'd rather it be my phone than bombs. Yeah. if those are my two options between what the loud noise was, my phone dropping or a bomb, yeah, I'll definitely take my phone dropping. Yeah, for sure. If those are my only two choices, yeah. I can get a new phone. Like, I mean, it sucks, but like I can get a new phone. Thank you, Irk. I appreciate that. Yeah, like I know people get mad. Like people get mad when their phone breaks and like they're expensive and like stuff like that. And I get that. Like I'm not saying they're not. They're very expensive. But like y'all remember like back in the day, like back in the day, you had to like you lost your phone, you lost like everything. It's all on the cloud now, right? If I throw my phone into the ocean today, I can get a new phone tomorrow that looks exactly like you won't even tell the difference in between like me losing the phone. All my contacts will still be there, all my preferences will still all be there. Like everything, like I don't lose anything but some money and my time, you know? Like it's much harder to replace like your car key or even your house key. Like your keys are harder to replace than your phone is now. Just being honest, like so like I get it. Like my phone breaks, oh that sucks. But it's not like just a little personal observation. Just a little personal observation, that's all. Y'all, as you guys are coming in, please double tap that screen, hit that like button, do all the fun stuff. I really appreciate you guys. Let's get this thing moving. Hey, Larissa. Yeah, I guess Trump is going to run Venezuela now. I don't know. That's what he's saying. I guess he's going to put little Marco in charge. I don't know. That's what I assume. I assume he's going to put little Marco in charge. So, I guess like this thing is what so I don't know. I don't know if I want to have this conversation yet. I might want to let this fill up a little bit more before I have this, because if not, I'm gonna end up repeating it again. Right, Princess? Yeah, like they're having a hard enough time running the US. How are they gonna run Venezuela? like straight the hell up. You can't even run this one. Like straight up. shouldn't shouldn't we be more worried about this one? Because we're not doing a great job with this one. Yeah, the first thing I thought, all right, when I saw what we did in Venezuela, and I was like, man, those Epstein files must be worse than I thought. Like every single time he does some like crazy shit like this, the next thought in my mind is just like, man, those Epstein files must be real bad. And I'm just glad that like I'm glad he did it now. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad he did it now. That way we didn't get any good expectations for 2026, you know? Like we didn't start getting to the years and being like, it's gonna be a good year. No, it's just straight to the cut, just straight off the bat. Boom, bad year. Instant. 3 days in. That we don't have to worry about, about all the rest of the stuff. we just we just just keep last year going. Don't even slow it down. Okay. And I'm just gonna keep getting updates during this whole live. So as I get updates, we'll keep everything updated. But one sec, y'all, and we'll get into some conversations and all sort of stuff. Just actually 1 second, y'all. All right, sorry about that. I apologize. It's freaking hot in here, man. My office is always so damn hot. Let's see if we can cool this place down a bit. Woo! See if we can cool this thing down a bit. You think we should do a trade? You think we'll just keep Maduro and they can take Trump? No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. We don't want that. Well, would it be that much worse? Pretty even, huh? Just thinking out loud. Just thinking out loud. Cause baby now. Okie dokie. Let's get these things on. There we go. Now I can hear things a little better. That's a great start. All right, y'all. Please, guys, you guys are coming in. Double tap that screen or hit that like button, depending on what you are. Come in, leave a comment, say what's up. Talk to each other, talk to me, talk to whoever you got to talk to. It'll keep this live boosted. If you'd like to support the live, you guys know I have super chats, super stickers, all that fun stuff. I have my live gift goals, especially on the one that has the little live gift goal over there. You guys know that, thank you so much for the Sunday. You guys know that for some reason they keep lives up that participate like that. I don't like it either, but it's the truth of what happens. So you guys do it. Keep a little gift goals and stuff going like that. They just help to keep the live moving and keep the live protected in a way. So I appreciate that. Let's move on. See if we can bring a guest in here. See what people got going on now. Ugh. Hello.
Hey, what's up?
Hi, how old are you?
I'm 27.
Awesome. You still support Trump?
I do.
It's under mine.
I just kind of, to be honest, this is the first time I ever met you and ever came across your live. I've only been on here for about, let's say, a minute and 20 seconds. I don't really know too much you're about. What's been on my mind is kind of this Venezuelan conflict. Very surprised to see it. I mean, it was expected, but it's still surprising because we haven't seen an invasion or a conflict like this since really like the Gulf War, or that really is what comes to mind is something what happened to like Gaddafi.
Yeah, how'd that go?
Well, he's dead.
Yeah, I meant with the country after he was dead.
With Libya, I'm pretty sure it's just a shithole at this point. I mean, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. But
literally, we attempted a regime change and tried to put in more pro-American government into Libya, and the whole place fell apart, deconstructed, and has not been stable since.
Yeah, I mean that's 100% true. I mean that's what happens when you can with any president really. That's what happens when any country or any individual challenges the petrodollar.
Hold on. Are you a Trump supporter?
I am.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. Was there any follow up to that, or just making sure? Okay.
Well, it doesn't sound like it makes much sense. You're saying you're a Trump supporter, and you're talking about this Venezuela stuff as if it's a good thing, but then you're saying things that aren't good.
Well, it's good for my dollar, right? I mean, don't you use the U.S. dollar?
Don't I use the U.S. dollar? Yeah, sure.
Okay, so that's good for your dollar. I mean, Venezuela was effectively undermining the U.S. dollar with their oil.
No, they weren't.
Yeah. Yes, they were.
They were in no way fucking doing it. First of all,
Venezuela was a part of BRICS.
Venezuela is not a part of BRICS. What are you talking about?
Yes, they are.
All right, maybe I'm wrong. I didn't think Venezuela was a part of BRICS. Let's take a look. Is Venezuela part of BRICS? No, Venezuela is not a member of BRICS. That was easy.
Okay, let me do that same search because I'm pretty sure you're doing wrong. Venezuela actively seeks full membership in BRICS.
So they are not a member of BRICS.
They're not, but they want it.
Yes, so what?
And they actively trade oil with China and Russia.
So what? You didn't say they want it. You said they're a member of BRICS. I said they're not. Okay,
fine. I mean, it's a semantical argument.
It is not a semantical argument. Is Ukraine part of NATO?
But you don't need to be a part of BRICS to undermine the dollar.
Is Ukraine part of NATO?
You don't need. It's a semantical argument. We're not talking about.
No, it's not a semantical argument, sir. Is Ukraine a part of NATO?
It's a semantical argument. You don't.
Why are you having such a hard time answering this question? It's we're not going to move on to anything, sir.
To undermine Russia, and you don't.
You said you've never come across me here. You said you've never come across me on live, and that's fine. And maybe you're used to other creators and other people who do this type of thing, where you think you're just going to move on with the conversation without answering my question, and that's not how this works. Okay,
it is.
Is Ukraine a part of NATO?
You're just narrating.
No, I'm asking you a question that you're refusing to answer. And if you refuse to answer it, I'll just move on to the next caller. I have no problem with that.
Okay, so you just like having one-sided conversations then?
Nope, just like my questions answered.
So you don't know the answer to your own question. Is that it?
Yep, that's it. Maybe you can inform me. Is
Is
Ukraine a part of NATO? I don't know the answer. Maybe you can inform me.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not a part of NATO. Do they want to be?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, but is that a semantical difference or is that a really important difference? Because one, if they were part of NATO, if they were part of NATO, hold on, sir. I wasn't done with my question yet, sweetheart. I wasn't done with my question yet. Thank you. Is it semantical? Because if they were a part of NATO, we would be required under Article 5 to go to war against Russia right now. And since they're not part of NATO and they just want to be a part of NATO, we're not required to do that at all. See how that's not semantical and actually has very big real world implications on the world, on the United States, on the military.
I'm not arguing that. I'm not arguing Ukraine and Russia. I'm arguing that Venezuela is undermining the U.S. dollar. That's my argument.
You're arguing that it is semantical on whether they are a part of BRICS or not. And I'm not, and it's not.
You have to argue my argument. That's my argument. My argument is Venezuela was undermining the U.S. dollar.
You're changing your argument because you're losing your argument. You're moving the goalpost. Your argument was that it is
clear. My argument. Oh, now you have to argue, not shush me. You have to argue my point.
No, I don't. Your point was it is semantical that Venezuela is not part of BRICS. It's not semantical. It is actually very, very important to this conversation because I don't think that in any way, shape, or form
was Venezuela undermining.
I'm still talking because I think it would be a very, very big difference because I don't think the United States ever would have gone in and tried to steal Venezuela's president if they were a part of BRICS. If this was something like Brazil or one of the other BRICS nations, I don't think they would have done that.
I don't know, bro. You just keep muting me anytime I have a disagreement.
No, I'm only muting you when you're cutting me off every time I speak.
Bro, you've been interrupting me this whole time.
Sir, I will move on to the next caller. You are already annoying.
Dude, I'm destroying you right now. You're just gonna call me annoying.
Great, you're destroying me, but you're annoying.
You have to argue. You have to argue my argument. Is Venezuela?
No, you have to argue your argument, and you're doing a bad job of that.
And you're trying to shift my argument somewhere else. That's not my argument. I'm dying on this hill that my argument.
Then you should be making better points on this hill then.
And that's why the U.S.
Because so far you dying on this hill has included you claiming that Venezuela was a BRICS nation, okay, which it's not, and I already proved you wrong on that.
I didn't say it was a BRICS nation.
Yes, you did.
It was a part of BRICS. And
that would be a BRICS nation, sir. If you're part of BRICS, you're a BRICS nation. That's how that works. Okay. That's how that works. So that was your first point, and you failed miserably on that. The second thing that you did was say that it's semantical on whether they're part of BRICS, which was the second part of your argument, which I've already destroyed on that also. So now I'm waiting for your third part, the third part of your argument, which you have made no actual evidence for besides, oh, they're just doing this to the dollar, and you've made submitted no evidence or no facts towards this. And instead of that, you're whining, okay, where you could have been making
You're narrating.
points.
That's what you're doing.
Well, I'm about to be narrating to no one. So either move on to another point, or I'm just going to move on to another caller. Keep going.
Because you can't defend the point. That's why you want to move on.
Sir, I have been doing this for a long time. Your little fucking attacks
not long enough.
mean absolutely fucking
You need to do it longer.
Watch.
You need to do it
watch
longer.
This. Hey.
Because you're just what? You're gonna mute me and kick me now?
Can you make your point?
I did make.
No, you fucking can't. Get the fuck off my lap. We'll just move on to the next person. That's super simple, dude. I have no patience for your guys' whining and crying today. Okay? Zero. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. A lot better than that other guy, apparently. How old are you?
I'm 36.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Well, I'm sorry, man. I'm going to have to kick you and move on to the next person because I'm only looking for Trump supporters. But have a good day, all right? Fine. Yeah, no worries. Have a good one. See, this is why I don't deal with TikTok guests as much anymore, and I usually just stick to my YouTubers on phone calls. The amount of freaking straw manning and gaslighting is crazy. Hello, how are you?
Hey, how's it going today?
It's going great. How about yourself?
I'm pretty good. I was actually just wanted to call to, number one, give you props for what you're doing. I think it's honestly a very beautiful thing. And not enough people probably come on here and give you that. And if they do, kudos to them as well. Consider me uneducated or whatever you want to call me, but what exactly is it that you're trying to reach by doing this?
I'm just trying to keep people informed and try to have people open up their minds and have decent conversations about, the state of our politics. That's all.
Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Because me personally, I am a Trump supporter in the sense of I believe it to be like the lesser of two evils. Because if it's not Trump, then who else would we have in power?
Anybody with a sense of morality.
That's nobody in politics. Gotcha.
No, sorry, sir. Was Kamala Harris? Let me ask you a question. Was Kamala Harris a felon?
Okay, so
Was she a felon? Yes or no?
I am not informed of that. No,
No,
sir,
she was not.
I'm
She was not a felon. Donald Trump is a felon 34 times. Right? Did Kamala Harris defraud a children's cancer charity? No, she didn't do that at all. Is there significant evidence that she's in the Epstein files and was best friends with Epstein? Nope, she didn't have that either. That was what Donald Trump did. Did she sexualize her daughter or a 10-year-old? No, those are things that Donald Trump did. Right? Did she cheat on her first wife with the second wife with the third wife with a porn star who you paid off to hide from the American people? No. Right? These are all things that Donald Trump did that show that he is morally corrupt, right? Not to mention the fact that he's an adjudicated rapist, right?
Okay.
So when we're talking about the lesser of two evils, is specifically on a moral stance, okay? No, I'm sorry. Donald Trump doesn't really hold a candle to anyone. And that's pretty bad because that means you're probably worse than, with the things Donald Trump did, that makes him worse than, Clinton. That makes him worse than Nixon, right?
I don't disagree
bad.
with you whatsoever. I don't disagree with that.
But yet you still support him.
Well, in the sense of when it comes to a business standpoint, he is honestly what's been best for our economy. Under Joe Biden's regime, when Kamala Harris was vice president, the economy did the worst, and that's not anything that's being made up. That's the actual.
What
fact.
was the worst?
As far as inflation went, taxes being at an all-time high, gas prices being at an all-time high.
Interesting.
I mean, economical wise. Listen, I understand.
Hold on.
Morality.
Hold on. I just want to address what you said. You said gas prices. You said inflation. What was the other thing you said?
Correct. It's just the economy as a whole.
No. You said something else. You said gas prices. You said inflation, and you said something else.
Maybe.
Taxes. I want to address all of those quickly individually, if that's all right.
Sure, that's fine.
Okay, cool. How often do we do tax plans?
I'm sorry?
How often do we do tax plans in the United States?
Can you please elaborate on that question?
Yeah. So there is a certain amount of years in between every single time we do a tax plan in the United States. I want to know if you know the duration in between those tax plans.
Unfortunately, I'm not that informed.
Okay, cool. It's 8 years. Okay. Do you know when the last tax plan was signed by Congress and by the president?
I do not.
Okay, it was this year, right? Which will take effect next year. Right? So, last year, which will take effect this year. It was in 2025. I forget we're in 2026 right now. So, by that case, when was the previous tax plan?
So 25 going into 26 minus 8, that would be 2017, 2018 era?
Correct. So, who was president during that?
I want to say... Give me 1 second. I'm going to look that up.
I can inform you. You don't have to look it up, sir. It's not a big deal.
Sure.
Yeah, it was Trump. The last tax plan was done by Trump, and the next tax plan after that was also done by Trump. There was no tax plan done under the Biden administration. So if your taxes were at an all-time high, that was Trump's fault.
So let me ask you this: what under Harris and Biden regime, what exactly was their plans to supposedly make it better?
Yeah, you have to wait until the next tax plan time comes up, which would have been this year, but you guys didn't vote him in, so they couldn't do anything about that. They can't just make up a new tax plan, okay? They can't just, that's not how it works, okay? You don't just come into office and you go new tax plan, time to go. That's not how it works, okay?
Okay, so what you're telling me is that Trump was taking credit for Biden and Harris's plans?
No, I'm saying that you said that your taxes were at an all-time high under the Biden administration. And I was explaining to you that if you didn't like your taxes under the Biden administration, that's because that tax plan was created and signed by Trump.
Okay.
That simple. Okay. So let's move on to something else. Okay. Let's move on to the gas prices. All right. What did Joe Biden do to make your gas prices go up?
What did you do? May you please inform me?
Well, I mean, you're the one making the claim that he made them go up.
Well, during his regime is when it went
Why do you
up
keep
because
referring
when
to it as a regime?
okay, his era, his presidency, however you want to call it, potato,
Well, I
tomato,
mean, those are
tomato is the
very
same thing.
different things, right? But that's why I'm asking. I mean, if you really want to call it, it doesn't really hurt me at
Well,
all. It just doesn't
hence
make
the
much
reason.
sense.
Hence the reason when I opened up the conversation, I said I'm not exactly 100% educated, and I'm not ashamed by it because it's the truth. I'm not afraid to, sway away from the truth.
Yeah, and that's fine. Okay, so let me explain to you what Biden did to have your gas prices raised. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Absolutely nothing. Okay. Are you familiar with the OPEC Plus deal?
I'm not.
Okay. So the OPEC Plus deal. So you remember how old you say you were? 30 something?
I never said my age.
Oh.
I'm actually about to be 36 this year.
I thought you did. I thought you had actually said that. But anyways, regardless. Okay. Yeah, so do you remember COVID?
Correct.
Okay, cool. So do you remember like when COVID hit off and then like the economy shut down and like nobody was moving anywhere, nobody was doing anything, like nobody was traveling, things weren't moving, factories were shut down, so things weren't shipping. And then gas prices went to just like nothing. You remember that?
I don't recall gas prices being at an all-time low during COVID. If that's what.
Well, they were. They were
referring
at
to.
incredible lows in like 2020. Very, very low.
What was the average gas price during?
I would have to go
2020?
back and look. I would have to go back and look, but they were very, very low. Yeah,
Okay.
we actually had an extreme excess of oil, right? We actually had tankers and oil tankers and stuff like that were like sitting off the coast of the United States that couldn't even get in the United States because there was literally nowhere to put it. Like we just had so much oil, right? So during that time when gas prices were at a super low and nobody was moving, big oil, right, went to the Trump administration and said, "Hey, we're getting absolutely demolished. Our bottom lines are absolutely horrible. We have all this oil. We can't sell it, right? We need you to go to OPEC and we need you to convince OPEC to stop producing so much oil in the world because that way it'll drive up the price of oil. That way we can get get higher margins. All right. And so Trump did that. Trump went and negotiated the OPEC Plus deal. If you don't believe me that he did that, he is on tape multiple times bragging about this deal that he negotiated. Okay. And he negotiated this deal called the OPEC Plus deal, which was set to expire at the end of 2022. And what it did is it reduced the amount of oil that was produced across, through the OPEC countries by 10 million barrels a day. All right. Which was totally fine while we were all shut down for COVID and nobody was traveling and nobody was driving and the shipping lanes were closed and all that sort of stuff. And we had all that problem. Right.
Right. Sounds like they were planning ahead of time.
Well, they were planning for the moment. They weren't planning ahead of time. That was the problem. They were just reacting to the situation that was happening right now. What happened later, okay, was that we reopened from COVID, right? Then people started traveling, people started moving, people started ordering stuff and things started shipping and we had ships moving, planes going, all of our normal economic stuff. But we had 10 million barrels of oil less being produced by OPEC countries, which again drives the prices up because simple supply and demand, less supply, higher demand, prices go up. And that didn't end until 2022. Well, Trump lost the election in 2020, but his policy that reduced the amount of oil didn't end until 2022. So we saw gas prices spike through the roof. And actually during Biden's administration, what you saw is at the beginning of 2023, you saw gas prices start to go down because that deal expired and these countries started producing more oil again. And that is actually what brought our gas prices down. And that's why you actually saw by the time that Biden actually left office, gas prices were at a very, very good price. Hell, at the time he left office, they'd been lower than most of the times during 2025. I think 9 of the 12 months or 10 of the 12 months in 2025 were actually higher than when Biden left office. Okay. So yes, you did see higher gas prices under the Biden administration. Unfortunately, that was because of policies that were created by the Trump administration, not by Biden. See, I think people get confused and they think that for some reason that when a president comes into office, all of the old president's policies and everything that they negotiated and everything that went through Congress or everything that they did with every other country just goes away, and it doesn't. We have certain things that carry on, whether those things are good or bad.
Have an expiration date, right?
Yeah.
Which, as you explained.
Yep. And I'll be also very clear that rise in gas prices was one of the contributing factors to why inflation was so high, right? Because again, we have super high gas prices. If you're buying things, they need to be shipped and the price of fuel goes up for those things that need to be shipped. then
Domino effect.
yeah, exactly. Then the price has to go up in order to accommodate that. And that's just one of the reasons, right? It also was a lot because of COVID. We had factories that were shut down. We had shipping lanes that were closed. We had an increase in oil prices. All of those things affected inflation, but they didn't just affect inflation in the United States. They affected inflation across the entire world. The world's inflation rate went up to like 10%. Right? Or something like, not 10%, but it was around 10%, right? And so you saw inflation everywhere, right? And so Biden didn't cause inflation in Italy or Japan or Somalia or wherever you want, right? That would just happen because of COVID and because of the rise in oil prices. Right. And this is in no way me saying that Biden was a perfect president. I don't believe that Biden was a perfect president. I believe he had many faults. Okay. But as far as economically, right, most of the things that actually drove our negative inflation actually came from the Trump administration, including his, huge bailouts and stuff during COVID, in which he added $8.4 trillion to the national debt.
Gotcha. Which, I mean, at the same token, it was like, during very difficult times, people weren't working. So I could understand it from that perspective. He was trying to keep people afloat to be able to provide for their families.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that shouldn't have happened. What I am saying is it didn't affect inflation, right?
Right.
I'm not saying that we shouldn't have had a stimulus check or anything. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that it did affect inflation. That does happen, right? So you can do things that are good and they have negative effects down the road, right? I'll take the OPEC Plus deal. For that exact moment, it probably wasn't that bad of a thing for the OPEC Plus deal. But in long term, without the foresight, it was a huge negative, right?
Well, let me ask you a question though.
Sure.
As far as, because we're on the topic of COVID, and by the way, I'm loving this healthy debate going back and forth. More of an informative, really. But when it comes to the whole COVID theme, what was at fault? To first and foremost begin with, which was very well documented, it was China, right? And how did it leak out of China?
I don't know the entire thing. I believe that people believe it originated in China. Some people say it's from bats. Some people say it's from like a factory or whatever. But regardless of how it got there, it got out of there and it got over here and to the rest of the world.
Right. But the thing about it is the reason why I bring up China is because China is technically the one that we owe trillions upon trillions of dollars to. So it being that they were held at fault, why not hold them accountable, because it affected our economy?
And how are you going to hold them accountable?
I'm not saying I'm going to hold them accountable.
No, I mean, how is anybody going to hold them accountable?
I mean, that there's certain things that could be done for sure. Certain negotiations could be done across the board.
Like what?
You do have
Give me an example.
These tariffs, for example. They hurt our pockets to be holding them accountable for their side as well. That is one thing that I do believe that Trump does, that I believe it to be correct. Again, I could be wrong. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I don't, like you said earlier, there's no president that is perfect, but we do have to take steps to move into a better position. That way we could further help for future generations, so they're not struggling and still being trillions of dollars in debt with another country when they're living in a country that's supposed to be freedom. But obviously freedom is not free.
So first of all, I don't even think China's not even the number one country that holds our bonds for our debt. Japan is. Japan's the number one country that holds our debt. All right. Second of all, Donald Trump didn't do the tariffs as like a punishment for COVID. He literally tariffed everyone. He tariffed the entire world. He tariffed islands where people don't live. Right. So like this wasn't any like tariff punishment type of thing. He just was tariffing people because Donald Trump lives in the 1980s still. Right. And these tariffs are just taxes on American consumers. It's not like we're charging China a tariff. You do realize that like other countries don't pay tariffs. Americans pay tariffs, correct?
That's not how it was presented to me, no.
Okay, well, Americans pay tariff. The tariff is literally a tax on Americans, right? So what happens is if there's a product that, like, say I'm a small business owner that has a product, say I build, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I build. I build Burt's Bees chapstick, right? And it comes from China. Then when I import my product to sell to the United States citizens, even though I'm an American, my company is American, some of the product is made over there. Say like I make the Burt's Bees, but like the capsules come from China or whatever. Then I have to pay the tariff in order to get my capsules for my American business for my chapstick. Does that make sense?
Right. So like if you're getting your product from another country, you have to pay an extra tax amount of dollar for that. Whereas why are you not getting those products from domestic
Well,
instead of
first of
foreign?
all, that would require that they actually make these here, which I don't think that they do, right?
Okay.
So first of all, it would be that they made these exact things here. Which again, for the most of the stuff that we get from China, we don't make it here, especially at the same level, right? Second of all, even if we
Hmm.
do make it here, right? Like say that like somebody makes these capsules, well, now I have to compete with every other chapstick, the group, right? I have to compete with the brand chapstick and everybody else. Well, do they make the quantity? Well, no, there's not enough quantity. Okay, well, if there's not enough quantity, then what happens? Again, not enough supply, and then the demand goes. If the demand stays the same and the supply now goes down because that supply is now being spread, then the prices go up through the roof
Okay.
because they can't make anymore, right? So A, you have to make sure that that product is even made in the United States, and B, that there isn't enough of it to do that, right?
Right.
And then the question is, okay, well, are they going to start making it here? Well, I would guarantee you that most likely, I don't know where they make little capsules for chapstick or for any of these things, but I would assume, okay, they probably make it in a country where the wages are significantly lower than they are in the United
Hmm.
States. So now if they're to move it over to the United States, well, now you fall under U.S. labor laws, and now you have to pay people, the correct, under living wage in the United States that we pay for it. So now again, the prices go through the roof. So now my Burt's Bees chapstick, which I will say is already overpriced, right, now doubles in
Right.
price based off of them having to move it or on them having to retool a factory here, right?
Right. But I mean, I also at the same token, this has been going on for many, many years because the simple factor is we used to make everything domestically made back in, the 40s and 50s. But it seems like ever since there was a transition where everybody became greedy and they're like, okay, I can make more money if I pay China, pennies on the dollar and then import it over here and quadruple my money or even five times over. So at the end of the day, all it really comes down to is pure greed. So, in my opinion, I don't believe it where it's Trump in office, Kamala and Harris in office, any president you put in office, it's all about greed.
Well, sir, of course it's about greed. We live in a capitalistic society. Sir, that's
So,
all capitalism is
right.
greed, right?
No,
Like like
absolutely.
but any time in the United States when anybody brings up anything that resembles a social policy or socialist policy, everybody's like, "Oh, socialism, it's horrible. Oh, communism, it's horrible." Well, okay, well then you want capitalism. And what capitalism teaches, if I can get the same labor for a cheaper price, then I'm going to go get that labor,
Right.
right? You
In
don't
spite, in
get
spite, in spite, in
both.
spite in spite of your own population at that point, because you're taking the money out and putting it somewhere else, so just so you can make more money. Now you just literally messed up the whole economy at
Yeah,
that
but I
point.
got
That's what
richer.
I'm trying to say. Right.
That's what capitalism is, man. That's what
Yeah. I know.
capitalism
I
is.
agree with you.
The United States has done an amazing job. People that make $700 an hour have convinced people that make $25 an hour that the people that make $7 an hour are the problem.
Mm. But now to my next topic that I want to bring up also is what did Kamala Harris do as far as the border patrol goes in Mexico and in Canada?
In the border, as far as the border, she's not in charge of border patrol. She never was.
That's not according to the debates back in 2016. Oh, excuse me, not 2016, 2020, when they literally had to take Biden out of the race.
Yeah. First of all, they didn't take Biden out of the race. Biden took himself out of the race. Okay. Nobody can remove Biden. It's not even possible to take him out. Second of all, you're just saying some shit Donald Trump said. Donald Trump lies all the time.
Okay, then prove me wrong. Then I mean
Yeah,
that's why I
sure.
asked the question.
I can easily prove you wrong. Why? This is how we
Okay.
do it. Okay. Was there a problem at the border? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Now, the congressional Republicans agreed with you and they said that there's a problem at the border. Are you familiar with the impeachment process?
Yeah, vaguely.
Okay, well, Congress can impeach someone if they believe that they committed a crime, or a crime or misdemeanor or any of those type of things, right? And so they were really mad about the border and they were like, you know what? We need to go after the person that's in charge of the border. And so who did they try to impeach? Did they try to impeach Kamala Harris?
No, they tried to impeach Donald Trump.
Incorrect. Donald Trump wasn't the president. Biden was.
What are you talking about? It was clearly in record that at one point when Donald Trump was in office, he was in the process of
Yeah.
being impeached.
Sir, so was Clinton and so was Nixon. We're not talking about every time in history when a president has tried to be impeached. I am talking about specifically under the Biden administration when the border was a problem.
That, and again, it also boils down to who is a matter of who you know, not a matter of what you
Okay,
know.
I'll just answer the question for you, sir. It was Secretary Mayorkas. Okay, congressional Republicans attempted to impeach Secretary Mayorkas. Secretary Mayorkas was the Secretary of Homeland Security. Okay, and the reason why they went to go impeach Secretary Mayorkas is because Secretary Mayorkas is in charge of the border. That's the job of Homeland Security. That is literally their job. That's why you see Kristi Noem running off the country playing freaking Deport Me Barbie or whatever she's doing with, 18 pounds of makeup on or whatever she's doing. South Park made fun of it. It's great, right?
I saw that episode.
Okay, yeah. So that you see how Kristi Noem is in charge of the border?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, guess what? There was also a Secretary of Homeland Security under the Biden administration, just like Kristi Noem is right now. It was Secretary Mayorkas. Okay. Who's in charge of the border? Is in charge of the border, just like Kristi Noem is right now. You notice how nobody's claiming that JD Vance is in charge of the border right now? The reason that is because the vice president isn't in charge of the border. We have somebody for that. We have a specific job to be in charge of the border. Okay.
Right, but at the same token, who was that person's boss though?
Who was Biden?
Okay, so so it wasn't Kamala Harris that was in charge. It was Biden that was in charge.
Correct. He's the president. That's his cabinet.
Okay.
Yeah, they all work for Biden.
So while we were having a border patrol issue, Biden was in charge.
Correct.
So you just answered my question.
Yes. What does that have to do with Kamala Harris?
That unfortunately is guilty by associations because she was vice president at the time.
No,
yes,
that's not the way it works, bud.
Okay,
you don't just get.
If you're
sir,
not helping solve the problem, at the same time,
she did help solve the problem.
You're not part of the solution.
She actually did help solve part of the problem. Yeah.
Okay, tell me how.
Yeah, so she was actually assigned to help reduce asylum seeking in the Northern Triangle and Northern South America because we had a huge influx of asylum seekers from those areas due to destabilization after COVID and from, a bunch of other things that we helped to do to destabilize the region. And she did. She actually helped to build up those countries. She actually had asylum seeking from those countries actually reduced by 50%. Actually, if you look at the numbers, by the time the Biden administration left office, the numbers of border encounters at the southern border were actually lower than the average under the Trump administration in his first term.
Because they were under fire.
Regardless of whether they were under fire, she was assigned a job. She did it. You asked, what did she do? She did it. What power does the vice president have in the United States? Unless the president gives it to her.
No, I mean, you're right to a certain degree because at the end of the day, what power a vice president has is in case if something happens to the president, they move up and take control.
That's one of two things that the vice president has the power to do. One, to take control of the presidency if the president, if something happens to the president, if something unfortunate happens to the president, they become incapacitated in some way, shape, or form. And two, they're the tie-breaking vote in the Senate. Right? If there's a tie in the Senate, then they cast that tie-breaking vote. Those are the two things that the vice president does. The literal job of the vice president is to keep breathing. Okay, just in case. All right. But they're not in charge of the border. They're not the border czars. They're not any of these things. Okay. She had a certain thing that she was assigned when it came to immigration. That is correct. She did do that thing. The border wasn't the best at certain points, but it got better over time, right? Because things like this take a while. There was multiple pieces of legislation that they tried to implement in order to fix it. Those pieces of legislation were stopped by Republicans and not allowed to be, not allowed to come into law that would have helped a lot of these things. Okay.
Right.
These are all things like it's more nuanced than what Donald Trump wants to make it. Donald Trump very much always wants to make things like very like quick and like quippy without giving you any context or any type of actual like understanding of the situation. That's why he yells things like borders are. We don't have czars in the United States, sir. We don't have czars.
So, not to take away too much, but I'm looking over here at the chat as we're talking, and somebody said that remember when Kamala was drunk and was having a press conference and speaking to the country? You really want a clown like that running the show? Come on, guys. Listen, anybody that makes a mockery of themselves, it shouldn't be in any type of control. And I'm not saying that to like be a Trump supporter or anything. And sometimes there's things that Trump does that I don't agree with 100%. And I don't think somebody that is unstable should be in power, period.
Well, boy, do I got news for you.
Okay.
If you don't like unstable people being in power, just thought I'd let you know.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyways,
Yeah, I mean, the whole world is unstable for that matter. So who are we to say, right?
I am. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not saying I'm the most stable person in the world, but Donald Trump is unstable. Yeah,
Right.
dude has lost it. Is completely
Well,
gone.
maybe,
but he can pick out a giraffe, guys. Guys, there was a giraffe and there was a bear and there was a monkey, and I picked out the giraffe. They said, "Sir," they said, "Mr. President, no one's ever picked out the giraffe before." There was 12 nurses. They were all giant burly men with burly beards, and they wept and they were crying and they said, "Oh, Mr. President, this is the best dementia test that anybody's ever taken. It's simply the best."
Well, all I can say is that if you run for president, you definitely got my vote.
All right, cool. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. Well, I'm going to move on to the next caller. I really appreciate you coming up. I hope you have a wonderful day, all right?
All right, you as well. Stay blessed, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you also.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, we're going to keep this thing going. We're going to move on to the next caller. Thank you guys so much for clearing that little gift goal that I had there. We are going to put up another one in a second. Try to keep this thing going. You guys are really hooking it up. I really appreciate. Oh, I like the surfing penguins. We're going to do the surfing penguins. The surfing penguins are the best. All right, we're gonna move on. Thank you guys so much for being here, y'all. If y'all are new here, please make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button. If you haven't already, turn on those notifications. If you haven't already, we do this 6 days a week. I say that as I'm about to be off like all next week, like Monday through like Thursday or Monday through Friday of next week. So outside of that, we do this 6 days a week, but I have to do some traveling this week, unfortunately. So I will be out this week. But make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, because I'll be right back to keeping this thing going and burning the midnight oil. If you guys like support, I do have super chats, super stickers, all that fun stuff. Memberships, the live gift goal, all of those things, and I have the pay links in the bio. So if you like support, it does help to keep lives like this going. So I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Are you okay?
Yep.
All right. I don't think that was Danielle, thank you so much for that. I'm gonna leave that up there for a second. Hello, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. How old are you?
40.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
No, not anymore.
All right, man. Well, I do really appreciate that, but I am only looking for Trump supporters right now. But I hope you have a wonderful day. Okay.
Well, I mean, I support him just kind of a little. I do like what he's doing deportations, but I mean, they could be ramped up.
Yeah, maybe like up to Biden's levels.
No, I mean like.
No, I mean like in 2020.
Socialism.
I mean like in 2025, he deported less people than Biden did in 2024.
Yeah, I know. I'm a little disappointed in that. I mean, truthfully, I just called to say, America's dead, dude. It died in 1965. America's brown and ugly now. It sucks. The confidence is falling.
Sir,
it's destroyed.
I don't know what you mean by brown and ugly, but we are much prettier than y'all. Have you seen this face?
Sure you are,
dude. I'm pretty as
22%
fuck.
Homo erectus DNA,
bro. I'm fucking pretty as shit, dude.
I
can tell, sir. I can tell by your voice. I can tell.
You even know?
Sir,
okay,
sir,
how about
sir.
this?
I can tell by your voice that your parents were related. Okay, like I can literally tell that your family. I can literally tell that your family tree is a wreath. Okay, I can literally tell you that it's a wreath. Okay.
Yeah, it's brown and ugly, man. America's dead.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even know about the Hart-Celler Act. Do you even know who Amelia?
All right. Anyways, you're a normal MAGA racist, but regardless, Valador, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. And howdy, Polly, have a good day and keep educating. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Block him? Why block him? Thank you so much, Valdor. And Latifa, thank you so much for the $5. Says simply one cell brain brain users. I am shocked that the country is going going to hell due to simple ass people. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Thank you so much, Latifa. Hello, how are you? Hello. All right, we're gonna get somebody in here that's well, I mean, a little less racist. I can't promise not racist. Maybe just a little bit less. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hi, how are you?
Good. So so about so I just wanted to talk something as a Democrat. So why do about the thing that you talk about to the other guy about the impeachment process? So you know how Trump has some crimes.
First of all, sir, how old are you? Sir, how old are you?
I'm 19.
What year were you born?
Can you repeat that?
What? All right. That's what I figured. Also, the phone was like very, very like, I don't know. That was very weird. It sounded very strange. Anyway, so if y'all still support Trump, hit that guest request button or call in. Like that person right there. I really appreciate that. Also, Adam, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. I really appreciate that. Let's see if we can get a few new members today. Maybe clear this gift goal. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Hello, how are you?
Not bad. Yourself?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
19.
19. How? What year were you born?
2006, sir.
All right, that sounds a little better. Real quick, y'all, there's well over 1,000 people in this on my TikTok live. We should easily be up at 250,000 likes right now. So can we double tap that screen? I really, really appreciate that. We've been on for almost an hour. We should be well above that. So so thank you guys so much. And please help me clear up my gift goal. I appreciate that also. All right, sir. So do you still support Trump?
Yep.
Awesome. Why is that?
I just think what he did in Venezuela was pretty good.
Oh, why is that?
He just gave the Venezuelan people hope for their new person.
Their new person is the vice president, who is a Maduro person who already called for his release and said that he was taken and that their sovereignty was invaded and they want him back.
Well, I don't know the specifics, but
I know. I just informed you of them.
Honestly, I don't want no that fucking immigrants, fucking dirty ass motherfuckers.
Well, just to let you know, sir, I know you needed to run away there, okay? But just to let you know, immigrants did not go away this morning. Yep. Yep, you did. Going, taking out Maduro did not get rid of immigrants. Just thought I'd let you know. Hello, how are you?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yep. How old are you?
27.
Awesome. You still support Trump?
I do.
Awesome. Why is that?
The Venezuelan thing last night was cherry on top.
Why is that?
Helping free the people there of their dictator.
Did you not just hear what I just said to the last guy?
Yeah, their VP lady that is in full cooperation with the Trump administration.
Who's that?
The lady, the VP that Maduro appointed.
She's in full cooperation with the administration. So where are you getting that from?
Yep. They've said it out all morning long. CNN, Fox, everybody.
Yeah, she's demanding Maduro's release. How is that full cooperation?
She's also said that she's in full cooperation with the Trump administration, and that they've also said that if she doesn't do what they want, then there's a second wave.
No, they said that there would have been a second wave last week. You're not even getting your story straight. They said they were prepared to do a second wave before.
So you said there would have been. So she did say that. He did say that. She agreed.
They said they were doing a second wave if they couldn't get Maduro the first time. That's what the second wave was.
They said they would do a second wave if she wouldn't.
Sir,
cooperate.
why are you in a big favor of the U.S. invading foreign nations?
Why are we switching it? Let's go back. Look it
No,
up. Did
sir, let's
she
not
agree or
go
not?
back. Sir, no. Okay. And even
Did
if
she agree or not?
do you not understand the word no? I
He's
know
mad.
I know people on the right have a hard time with the word no, okay?
Well, let's look it up together.
No and consent are a big problem with you, okay? So
Let's
now
look it up together.
No, now it's time for you to be quiet.
Oh, not now. It's no because I'm right.
Sir,
Let's look it up
how
together.
about this, sir? I'll just say you're right, and we're gonna move on to my question now, okay? Because I don't care about the right or wrong thing. That's a you guys' problem.
Why are you arguing?
Okay? Because everybody can go look it up and see that I'm right. They don't need we don't need any
But
of this, okay?
he won't look it up for all E1K. But okay,
Sir.
let's go.
Okay, now how about you answer my question? Okay. Why, regardless of that, okay, do you want the US invading foreign nations? How is that a good thing?
Okay. For one, they're proven drug cult. I don't know if I can say
They're a
certain words. I don't wanna get
proven
me or you in
drug
trouble.
cult.
The proven evidence for the drug cult. I don't know if I can say these words. Let me know. I don't want to get you in trouble.
You're not saying anything.
Okay. The SE trafficking ring as well. The fact that he's been a dictator and he's supposed to have been out of power a while. They also control a large amount of the oil.
Okay,
So,
so everything you just said
we need to be
also
able to make
gotcha. So
negotiations
everything
with
you
anyone.
just said also qualifies for what Russia is doing. So why don't we invade them?
Well, because they haven't. I don't say I disagree with that whole situation. That's a whole different topic.
So you think we
Let's go
should?
back to-
So if we
No,
invade,
no, no.
ev-
Let's
I'm
go
just-
back to Venezuelan.
No, sir. I asked you why it's okay for the United States to be invading any foreign nation. Okay, I didn't say Venezuela. I just said any foreign nation because Donald Trump actually specifically ran on no new wars, president of peace, staying out of foreign wars. He
Well,
actually was
what-
very vocal against like the Afghanistan war and stuff like that. And I'm just curious
Yes.
on why you guys have swapped so quickly.
So, did he create a war last night? If he did, it lasted 3 hours.
Okay, he already created. That's not even the first one this year.
Okay, he's settled so many wars. What is it? I mean, a
It's
couple of them.
zero. But yeah,
No, it's a couple. He's signed multiple deals. You've even seen the lives of both heads of state coming together and signing. So you can't deny that.
sorry, I didn't say the wars didn't that people didn't come
Oh,
together.
you just said he
friggin-
didn't. You just said he didn't settle any war.
He
So
didn't.
which one is it?
All right, which one did he
Okay,
settle?
well, now you're going against what you just said.
Sir, which one did he settle?
I'm not naming all of them. You should know
Name
them exactly.
one.
I think there's what, 5?
No, there's 0. So name one.
Okay. What about Indian, Pakistan?
India, Pakistan. Yeah, the prime minister of India specifically came out and said that Donald Trump of the United States had 0 to do with. Any
Oh,
type
he
of settlement
says
between
that. But who was together with the two heads of state came together and signed papers? Who was there? Trump.
No, he wasn't.
He was in the talks. He was there.
He
He was
was
even
not.
posted on social media
He
prior
was
to the
not
signing.
there. Okay, when they freaking signed an agreement.
So, true or false? Did he not?
False. He was
prior
not
to
there.
This, I'm not even done talking.
That's fine. He was not there.
True or false? Did he not post prior to the signing? Did he not post that there is going to be a signing peace deal of India and Pakistan?
Yeah,
Did he not?
but I could have gotten on here and said, "There's
Thank
good."
you. So who else
Sir,
would know
sir,
this
sir,
inside
sir,
information
Sir,
hours prior?
every head of state in the world.
Okay. So Russia knew.
Yep.
Russia knew they were invading. Or so we knew Russia was doing anything with Ukraine prior to them doing it.
That's not what you're asking. That's a false
Oh,
equivalency.
so now we're not.
Sir,
now
sir,
we don't.
sir. Hey. I understand that your panties are all in a bunch and you're all upsetty spaghetti. Okay.
But now
I
he's
am
going into it.
I am going to be required to actually answer a question fully, not just with one word and then you start screaming. Okay? Awesome. Yeah, tons of heads of states probably knew that the freaking war that they were going to sign a peace deal between India and Pakistan. Just none of them jumped on and said and tried to take credit for it because Donald Trump was just posturing, trying to get a Nobel Peace Prize, and that's all. Okay, he didn't do that. He said he freaking stopped a whole bunch of other wars. They began fighting within 24 hours. He didn't actually do any of those. Okay, but
One
I would
started
like
fighting.
are you ready to let me finish now?
Well, you jump conversation. You jump topics right there. So
I did
thought
not,
you were
sir.
done with that one.
You don't know what I'm doing because every time I try to speak, you just start screaming.
So it's a pot calling the kettle black now. I'll just ask a question and you jump in the middle of it and
Sir, I don't know
answer
what you
before I
asked me
talk?
because literally you asked me a
Because
question
you
in the
jumped in
middle.
front of me
See
and
right
talked.
there. Right there again.
You didn't know because you
All right,
jumped
sir.
in front of me.
Hey, sir, I'm trying to have this conversation with you. I am really, really attempting to treat you like an
Okay, go
adult,
ahead.
regardless of you trying with all of your power for me to make me stop doing that. Okay?
Go ahead.
I am
I'm
trying
listening.
with everything that I am, to treat you like somewhat of an adult, even though you are trying with everything you have to like not be treated like one. Okay. So here's how this is going to work. Okay. Either you're going to try to have a conversation like an adult. Okay. Or you're going to be treated like a child because you're acting like one.
I'm waiting for you to go. Go.
Go
Still
for
waiting
what?
your answer. Your answers that you were
Answer
wanting
to
say.
what, sir?
So now you don't have an answer. You just said
I don't
need
know
to
what
answer
I'm
at least one of the
answering.
questions, and then you rambled on. Now you don't have nothing.
I guess not, sir, because I have no idea what the fuck question you
Well,
asked me.
let's go back to Venezuela then.
We never left Venezuela.
Yeah, you was just talking about Russia and all the
Nope.
other wars.
You're literally the only one that brought up Russia.
So you didn't ask about what wars Trump resolved?
So you switched it.
My God. Huh?
You said Trump resolved a bunch of wars, so you moved the
Yes.
goalpost. So when
But-
I
'cause
asked
you
you a
started
question,
talking about
yeah, gotcha.
Ukraine and Russia.
So just to be clear, you said Trump stopped a bunch of wars. I said which
Yep.
wars, and apparently that's me changing the subject.
Yep, I said that.
Okay, that makes
after
sense.
you asked me.
That makes
what do
sense.
you
No,
think about
continue, man.
Ukraine and
Please,
Russia?
yes. I guess I'm totally moving the goalpost. Continue.
Well, you did ask. Do you agree with what Russia and Ukraine is doing? So
I
yeah.
really couldn't care less, sir. Move on with a point because this is getting
Well,
boring.
you did ask. Okay, back to Venezuela. They also are helping make America safe again, great again, because now we can actually make a safe trade deal with somebody who can negotiate, who can talk, and maybe keep our gas prices down.
Awesome.
we
So
can
how is
turn
he?
around and resell it
What
and
trade is he
profit the company.
negotiating?
Well, it just happened last night, so let's give it every bit of at least 24 hours.
So you're just saying it's happening, and according to yourself,
think,
said it's
I
too
think it
early
was-
to know that.
I'm sorry, I don't know if you left this in the other room, but it's called
Gotcha.
common sense.
Gotcha. So you're saying that there is a trade deal that is coming. I asked you what kind of trade deal, and you said
I
it's too
think
early to
that-
tell. So this
I
thing
think that
is
Ray
this
Charles
thing
could
that
see the-
yeah.
the
So this
trade
thing that
deal.
you don't know about, right? That you said you couldn't have known about because it's too early is somehow great. Gotcha.
Like I said, I believe Ray Charles could see the trade deals coming.
Okay.
Why wouldn't you make a trade deal? I believe Kamala wouldn't, but
Because
anyway.
Donald Trump has made 0 trade deals with 0 countries.
Oh, okay.
So why
So
would he start now?
He isn't. We don't have the all-time high stock market right now. We don't have
We had an
cheaper
all-
gas right now. What is it averaging? $2 and what 78, 87?
We had the highest stock market under Biden, and Donald Trump specifically said the stock market is not a judge of the economy. And actually, of
I didn't say he did.
yeah, and then 9 of the 12 months of 2025 had a higher gas price than when he took office.
Well, it doesn't matter. I didn't say it reflected the economy, but it does make the people richer in America. Don't you invest into the stock market? So do I. Doesn't it gain your money? Yes.
Yeah, but if that's your judgment on it, then you also think that Biden was an amazing president who did wonders for the economy, right?
I didn't say he was an amazing president. Under Barack Obama was a better president than him.
Well, apparently
and
they're
some of my
all-
stocks lost
Because
but,
I
that
guess
doesn't
every president in all of history has been the best president because in almost every single one of them, the stock market has gone up.
I don't know about that. Let's reflect it back to 08.
I said in almost every single one. So do you know what the word
Oh.
almost means?
Well, now you're changing it.
Nope,
Okay,
I didn't change it. You just have a
so
comprehension issue.
The drugs. Let's go back to Venezuela again. The drugs. What do you think? Don't you think it's making it
Man,
safer?
you are all over the place, aren't you?
I'm trying to keep it on line with you pulling me left
You're
and
keeping
right.
it all over the place by talking about the stock market and then jumping to drugs. Yep, way to
Well,
keep
the
it
stock
online,
market
bud.
and the drugs keep coming from or have connections to Venezuela. Isn't Venezuela oil country?
It is
Doesn't
oil
the-
country.
Doesn't
yeah.
doesn't quote unquote war equal money? So why wouldn't the stocks go up? I mean that all connects.
Or
I
equals
don't
money
know.
for the military industrial complex.
For the stocks as well, bud. You put in
Now
oil.
you're
Look
back
at
to
Chevron
stocks.
today.
You just talked about drugs, and now you're talking about stocks again. Sir, I am going to need you to try to keep one coherent type of conversation going over here, okay?
I think you're the only one lost out of everybody, even the comments. They're saying that you're lost. Stock
Sir,
markets
when
and
they're
the drugs
saying-
trace
sir,
back
sir,
to Venezuela, like
sir.
I said.
Sir. What about the drugs?
All the drugs coming into America, killing quote 300K Americans?
Yeah, what's the number one drug that's killing Americans in the United States?
Oh, now you're wanting to jump on drugs. What? You are all over the place, sir. Please keep it together.
All right. Well, sir, you obviously are a complete fucking moron. So I'm
No,
going to
let's
move on
talk
to
about-
somebody else because this is a waste of a conversation and a waste of ever talking to you at all. I think that you are literally, you might need actual mental help. Truthfully. Yo, please make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really appreciate that. Turn on those notifications. We do this almost every single day of the week. Judy, thank you so much for the $5 over on Cash App. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. We are gonna keep this thing moving, keep on going with the conversation. I don't know what that dude's problem was, but I got better things to do with my life. Y'all, if y'all would like to support the live, I do have Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, all the pay links in the bio. I also have super chats, super stickers, all that fun stuff. Like Chewy said, VP said to oppose Talmud Donnie. Also, no new wars. Yeah, I don't know what's up with the no new wars thing. Yeah, I guess he figured I'm never gonna get the Nobel Peace Prize, so I might as well just, I don't know, attack everybody. I guess that's the best way to handle it. I guess he got that a FIFA award, and he was like, I guess I'm good. Might as well just do the opposite. If I can't win the peace award, I guess I'll win the war award. I guess that makes sense. All right, we're gonna move on to the next person. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Oh man, I got a whole bunch of. I don't usually take too many people in the TikTok chat. I usually take more calls, but I don't hear any calls coming in right now. So we'll see. Maybe we'll take another TikTok person or so. We'll see if we can get a couple people in there. Hello, how are you? Yep.
I put away the dishes yesterday. She put them away.
Yeah, you got to make sure those dishes get put away. Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
35.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Sure do.
Awesome. Why is that?
Because he's the best president I've ever seen in my lifetime.
Okay. And why is that?
Because he's the best president in my lifetime. Now, I have a question for you. That's just my opinion.
Oh,
no,
so,
I got
so
a question. What have Democrats done for black people?
Sir,
Go.
sir, calm
No.
down.
Answer my question. Don't try to straw man.
All right, we're gonna move on to the second person. This is why I don't usually take TikTok guests. Y'all are just too freaking y'all are too spun up for some reason. Okay? Guys, I have better things to do with my life than just go into crash out mode with y'all all the time, all right? I'll literally just hang up the phone and move. I'll just hang up and go to somebody else. It doesn't hurt my feelings at all. Hello, how are you?
How's it going?
It's going well. How old are you?
I'm 49.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
I absolutely do. Today's one
Awesome.
of the best days in history.
Today is one of the best days in history. Okay, why is today one of the best days in history?
He just liberated Venezuela, in case you're not paying attention.
And why is that a good thing?
Why would that be a bad thing?
No, sir. I asked you, why is that a good thing? You are making the positive claim that this is the best, one of the best days in history.
Because the people there can actually eat now. They're not starving to death.
So we should just go and invade any country. Sir, nope,
2017,
nope, quiet. So we should just go
invade. When did Maduro
invade.
take office? Do you even know?
So should we just invade every single country in which they're committing human rights violations against their people?
Some countries.
No. I'm asking you a very simple question, sir. Let me be very clear. Okay.
They were bringing drugs into this country.
You see how I'm still talking?
He was emptying the jail.
You see how I'm still talking?
So you don't want to give me an opportunity to answer.
I will be more than happy to give you an opportunity to answer, but you do have to let me actually.
Every time I try to answer, you just talk over me.
Sir, I haven't asked you a question.
You just said why.
Why what?
Why usually is followed by a question. Right?
Okay. How about this? Why don't you get a little off your chest? It seems like everybody is very high strung today. Okay. I don't know what you guys ate yesterday.
It's just
or maybe you guys are just super amped up because Trump is killing more people. But maybe you guys are just really amped up today. So
it seems
go
to be
ahead. Why don't you
be celebrating the streets? At least 1 million people are celebrating right now.
Okay.
Are you paying attention? Or this is just your feelings on this?
Are you finished?
I'm waiting for you to say something.
No. I want you to go ahead and get it off your chest because when I get ready to talk, I don't want you cutting me off again. So I just want to make sure that whatever.
Ask me a question.
No,
I'll answer
I'm not
it.
asking you any questions. I'm just waiting for you to finish.
Okay.
Are you finished now?
I am going to try to answer the next question.
I'm not asking you a
If
question.
you allow me to.
Here's my question. Do you have the ability to be quiet long enough for me to say something?
Yes.
Perfect. Let's test that out. Okay. Now, what I was saying is I have absolutely no love lost for Maduro. I think Maduro is a horrible fucking person. He's a dictator and he's committed human rights violations and done all sorts of things, right? So I have absolutely zero love lost for Maduro or anybody who does those sorts of things. Okay. And truly, I do really believe that. But I do find it quite disingenuous, all right, that the Trump administration is now claiming, right, to be against like dictators and all this sort of stuff, which they're not, right? They've literally met with them. There's most of the things that freaking Maduro is doing. Putin's also doing. Kim Jong-un is also doing. Hell, even Xi Jinping is doing in certain regions of the United States where he's committing human rights violations, starving out like the Uyghur population in northern China, right? But Donald Trump calls all of those people friends, right? He says how he has great working relationships with all of these people, how he's, is able to be completely diplomatic with all of these different countries that are doing all of the same things, right? And so really outside of that, really all we're doing is taking over.
No, it's actually not right. Are you going to allow me to answer?
No, remember how I said you can be
keep
quiet
saying
now?
right, and I'm saying, and I'm not agreeing.
I'm not
So go
asking
ahead.
you, sir.
Go for
That
it.
is rhetorical. Okay. Donald Trump literally,
Donald
Trump literally met with an ex-leader of Al-Qaeda and called him a good guy. Donald Trump literally met with like bin Salman, who was executing journalists and has committed human rights violations in his country too, right? So again, I have no love lost for Maduro. I think he's a horrible person. If he freaking rots in the bottom of a prison for the rest of his life. All right, I'll just mute you. That's fine, sir. So if he rots at the bottom of a prison for the rest of his life, I really couldn't give a shit. But I do think that we do run into a lot of constitutionality problems when we have the president of the United States without constitutional approval going into another country and just invading, all right? There are checks and balances, all right, that will exist within our system, right? I mean, even when it came to like the invasion of Iraq, right? Or, the war on terror in which we were in the Middle East, right? We even got congressional approval. And I think it's very, very, scary in our nation when the president of the United States thinks that he can take matters of war into his own hands without the representation of the people to just commit these acts against these people. It has nothing really to do with Maduro. And honestly, if the country ends up better because of it, which honestly, historically, we've shown that most of the time countries don't end up better, in the long term, just very much in the short term, and these countries really fall apart like Libya did, and and other countries that we've destabilized in South America, right? But if it makes them better in the short term, that's great. But really, it's a really big matter of legality and constitutionality in my book.
Well, you might have a point there with past things, but this could be different. And so if it is different and we do have success with it, are you still going to allow your Trump derangement syndrome to take over and not actually see the good in what he's doing?
Sir, we won't know what the long-term effects of this are for the next decade.
See, the problem is you guys just have Trump derangement syndrome at such a level that you can't see anything through the lens other than Trump derangement syndrome.
No, you guys
really
just
comical.
Sir,
it's quite
actually,
comical.
The true actual Trump derangement syndrome is actually from his followers. Okay, where?
Oh, okay. Really?
No, really, it is.
Yeah, not just based on your platform, or just saying everything that Trump does has some type of negative consequence, even then when you don't even see the consequences play out.
I didn't say it was a negative. I didn't say there was a negative consequence, sir. What did I say was the negative consequence?
You said this is going to collapse again in the future, and
no, I didn't. No, I did not.
You actually did imply that.
No, I did not imply that, sir.
It's going to be short term. It won't work long term.
What I said was,
that's your Trump derangement syndrome.
Sir, listen, sweetheart. If you'd listen, you'd hear that I didn't say that. Okay.
You're so gay. It's hilarious.
Oh,
I mean,
you interested?
You think like a woman, so you have a brain structure of a woman. So it's like I'm speaking to a woman. So maybe if you spoke to me like a man instead of speaking to me with the word sweetheart, I would actually take you seriously instead of like.
Well, sir, as soon as you start talking like a man and not like a child, then I'll treat you like one. Okay. But since you don't talk like that, that's fine. So regardless, sir. what I actually said, sir, before your misogyny crept in, okay? What I said is every other time we have done regime change in this type of thing, it has led,
And were those
okay,
under Trump? Were
to those
under
type of
Trump?
things, okay, sir? So
When
unlike
did Maduro
you,
take office? Do you
sir,
even know?
all right, I'm muting you now. All right, and you're muted because I'm talking. All right. So regardless of any of that, okay, well, all I said was we have history, and when we take history and we look back at them, and we see that generally when these type of things happen, they end up very bad. I mean, there's also times like when we did almost the exact same thing in Panama, right, where it ended up bad eventually, right? It had some very big, good, short-term effects, and then long-term, it had some very negative effects, right, which actually led to a lot of things that Donald Trump has with Panama right now. So I'm sorry, sir, that you believe that me just saying historically this hasn't worked out well is some types of TDS. No, it's called being educated, sir. And I know that you guys are struggling with that. But I did not imply, but I did not apply any of that to the current situation. You did. Okay. You applied it to the current situation. And then you, okay, after applying that projection, all right, decided, okay, that I was doing something that I have TDS. What you guys do is just give Donald Trump credit for everything without waiting to see any of the long-term effects of it, right? That's actually the bigger issue. What we need to do is wait to see the long-term effects and how this plays out before we give Donald Trump credit for anything, and that's your TDS.
No, we can actually give him credit for what just took place and then see how it plays out.
He didn't invade the country. You know who I give credit to? You know who I give credit to? You know who I give credit to? You know who I give credit to, sir?
You don't even know what's going on, do you?
Sir, be
you don't
quiet.
even have a clue because you're just.
All right, I'm muting you again. This is just ridiculous. So what, you know what I actually give credit to? I give credit to the troops, okay? I give credit to our awesome military members who literally went into another country and just stole someone's fucking president, which I think is fucking wild, right? I give mad props to those people, right? That is absolutely... Sir, I thought you were leaving. You said you were leaving.
He's not even the
You said you were leaving.
He's not a legitimate president.
I thought you were leaving, sir.
Leaving what?
You said, I'm going to leave now. Goodbye, sweetheart. That's what you just said.
He's not even a legitimate president.
Sir, I'm very aware, regardless of whether he's a legitimate president. Regardless of whether he's a legitimate president or not, are you saying that it's less impressive?
You don't think that makes a difference?
Sir, do you think it's less impressive that our troops went into Venezuela and stole their fucking president? You think that's less impressive because he wasn't legitimate?
He didn't steal anything. He wasn't the president. He stole the office.
Well, okay.
Let's
well,
back
you heard
up
it.
A second.
You heard it from this guy,
breaks
sir.
Into my house
according to this guy, sir. According to this guy, our troops are not even good. According to this guy, our troops are not even good. They're actually pretty pathetic and not even worth the time that they actually did because apparently our troops suck to this guy, to you. Okay. Because you're saying that what the troops did wasn't impressive because he wasn't the legitimate president. That's literally what you just said.
I did not say that. You're
that is literally was my entire conversation,
he
sir.
Wasn't the legitimate president. I said nothing about the troops.
This is what happens when you're.
So you hear what you want to hear,
sir.
This is. I didn't even mention the troops,
sir. This is what happens when you spend too much time talking and not enough listening. Everything,
ma'am.
All right, sir.
Sweetheart, ma'am.
This is your last chance.
Dude, I don't give a fuck. I honestly don't.
Okay.
Your show is a joke.
Sir, my entire statement was, I am impressed with the troops for going in.
You mentioned the troops. I didn't say a thing about the
Listen,
troops.
sir.
You're hearing things.
Listen, sir. I said I am impressed with the troops going in and stealing someone's president. And you said it doesn't even matter because he wasn't legitimate. That's what you said. The response was to the troops, sir. The question, the entire statement was to the troops. I know that, ding dong. I was saying I was impressed with the troops, sir. I was impressed with the troops.
He just installed himself.
All right, sir. Well, I'm sorry that you have like a really, really big issue right now. Okay, I assume. Okay, you either need to get laid, or your dad didn't love you, or something like that. Okay, but I am tired of talking over you.
Structure of a woman.
I'm sorry. What was that?
You have the brain structure of a woman.
Oh, okay. So thank you so much for proving to me that your dad didn't love you. Okay, but again, I would like to have a conversation.
I just talked to
with
my
an
dad
adult.
yesterday, bro.
Sure you did.
I talked to my dad. He's 80 years old.
Sure you
I talked
did,
to him yesterday.
I'm sure he is very disappointed in you.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
So, anyways, Notice how he said he didn't talk to his mom, as he said, "I have a brain
He
structure
actually
of
has
a
Trump
woman."
arrangements. You want to know?
Anyways, wow, you guys are really wound up today. You guys are really wound up today. You guys should probably take a little bit of a chill pill. Man. Y'all are wound up. Y'all please make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. They just call and scream, man. Big incel vibes, dude. Big incel vibes. Yo, if you like to support the live, I do have super chats, super stickers open. So if you like to support the live, I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. We're almost done with this live gift goal too. We're like 3/4 of the way through that. So if you'd like to support, I really appreciate that also. They are wound up today, man. Thought we were jamming out over here. What happened? Hello? Gene? Oh, that's interesting. Hello, how are you?
I'm all right. About you?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
I am 25.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
I do not, actually.
All right, man. Well, I am only looking for Trump supporters right now, but I do appreciate you coming up, right?
Okay.
Thank you. Gene went from country music to talking to me to gasping. That was wild. Hello, how are you?
Oh my God, bro. I feel so sorry for you.
Why?
Dude, they're really quick. They're all amped up because they're just a bunch of teenage monkeys that are all howling because they saw a fight. That's basically what it is. And you're absolutely right. They're all incels. I'm sorry.
It's that large amygdala that they have. They don't have the ability to speak without emotion, right? Everything's all emotional for them, right? They don't have the ability to just think logically. That fight or flight sense has got them all amped up. They're like, "Ooh, we saw bombs," and so now we're all like, "Oh my goodness, yeah." So
it's like a bunch of ants getting stirred up, you know, on an ant mound. I've watched your show so many times, and I enjoy political discourse. I'm having a hard time sitting here watching you struggle with these idiots.
Oh, I'm not struggling with them, sir. They're the ones that are struggling.
Oh my!
Pretty much the entire argument that they've had so far is, if you want to think critically about this at all, you have TDS. And that has been their entire thought process. But I am going to move on, man. I do have to keep this thing going, but I hope you have a good one, all right?
I'm sorry. I just have to call in and comment. The dude couldn't even accept the freaking fact that you're trying to compliment the troops. Like,
yeah, he couldn't handle that at all. That's way too much.
Hell?
Yeah. All right, man. I got to go.
Oh my God.
Talk to you later. Bye.
Hey, have a good.
Hello, how are you? The one, only one. Thank you so much for the membership. Hello, how are you?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep. How old are you?
I am 24.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Yes, 100%.
Awesome. Why is that?
He's a great leader. He's doing what we need for America. I have a question though. Why don't you do the boxes instead of like calls? I'm just curious.
Because TikTok guests are for some reason just all amped up. I think that there's like I think what happens is there's like 25 TikTok guests or whatever that are MAGA, and they all jump from live to live, and I don't know, I guess they get a lot of clout for just being wild and screaming and yelling. And honestly, I have better things to do with my fucking life than listen to y'all.
I get it. But yeah, I support Trump 100%, and I support him even more, being that what happened to Venezuela. I think that was a very good thing.
Awesome. So how was invading Venezuela America first?
It wasn't invading, and it wasn't an active war either. Venezuela had a bad leader the past 26 years.
It was an invasion.
And
having a bad leader, having a bad leader doesn't change whether it's an invasion or not.
I have family from South America, Guyana to be exact, and for me, it's not an oil thing. It's not an oil thing.
Well, for Trump, it is.
You can say that. That's your.
Well, he said that.
But
he said that on Fox News this morning.
Venezuela is happy right now and they're cheering, by the way. They are
No, no.
happy.
What
They're
I'm saying, sir, is
ecstatic.
Donald Trump said it was because of oil this morning, literally out of his own mouth on Fox News. He said it was about the oil. Actually, I think I just actually got a notification while I was live where Trump literally came on and said, yep, President Trump says the U.S. is taking control of Venezuela's estimated 303 billion barrels worth of oil. So they haven't had Maduro out for 12 hours yet, and Donald Trump has already taken control of all the oil. You know why that is, sir?
Go ahead.
Because it was about the oil. That's why.
So you're saying it was never about who was running Venezuela?
Absolutely not. If Maduro had handed over the oil, I'm pretty sure Donald Trump would have just made a deal with him. He's made deals with way
Guyana
worse.
struck oil, but Guyana struck oil 2.5 years ago, and why isn't Trump touching that?
I don't know, sir.
Regular
Lots of
question.
places have oil, but he wanted that one.
No, I understand, but Guyana got a surplus of
Sir.
oil the past 2.5 years. So if it's about oil, if it's only about oil.
Sir,
and an
we've been
agenda
to
for
multiple wars over oil. I don't know why you're making it sound like we don't go to wars over oil. We literally went to the Middle East over oil.
Is there anything in Trump's 5 years of being president, obviously from 2016 to 25 to now, is there anything good that you can say about Donald Trump and what he did for anything?
Sure.
Okay. I respect that, the fact that you can say yes, because I've been talking to people today and they've just been saying, nope, there's nothing good coming from this guy.
All right, tell me something.
Right now,
Tell me something bad Trump is
cheering.
doing.
Venezuela right now is cheering, by the
Tell
way.
me
So
something
whether
bad
it's
Trump
oil
is
or
doing.
not, they're cheering.
Tell me something
They've
bad
been
Trump has
under
done.
somebody the
Hey,
past
hey,
26
hey,
years.
hey. Tell me something bad Trump has done.
Tell me something that bad, in my opinion, that I think Trump did that wasn't good.
Yeah, tell me something bad he did.
Okay, look, I'm for immigration, but I do think ICE is kind of approaching it the wrong way, and it's being allowed to an extent. And I do know that there's good people in this country who came here that's good, and I do know that there's also bad people, but I do think the approach can be more safer. There's a lot of people feeling unsafe right now with ICE, and I do think it can be approached better. So if that's something bad, it's obviously something bad, because a lot of people are not a fan of being profiled the way it's been going on. And I'm in New York City, so I've been seeing it uphand, but I am for immigration, but I do think it could have been dealt with better or approached better.
So regardless, by the way, Venezuela is not cheering. Everybody that's out of Venezuela is cheering, right? But regardless of that, specifically especially the freaking people in Miami and especially the Cuban population, they are all cheering. And again, like I think there's this confusion on whether freaking it's like, oh, is Maduro good or bad? Maduro's bad.
He's a bad guy.
Yeah, super simple. Okay, there's lots of bad guys in the world.
Yeah.
There's lots of bad rulers in the world. There's lots of people that commit human rights violations, who starve their people, who execute their people, who kill and jail their political enemies. Donald Trump makes friends with every single other one of them. All of them, right? Putin, Orban, Kim Jong-un, Netanyahu's committing a fucking genocide. Right?
Yeah.
Literal has an indictment in like the world court for war crimes. And Donald Trump doesn't do a damn thing. Calls them friends. Right? Says they have great relationship, calls them friends. But yet this one in Venezuela, he for some reason has a problem with. What's the difference? Oh yeah. They're in the Western Hemisphere and they have oil. That's why we went in there.
But there's so much other places in South America with oil. So it's like
but
it's
not
like,
ones that he could have a good
understand.
justification for invading.
I understand where you're coming from, but
what justification would he have, sir? What justification would he have for invading Guyana?
He helped the Venezuelan people. They're all happy right now.
I didn't ask you for that, sir.
Venezuelan friends who are texting me that it's ecstatic over there,
sir.
The past 24
Again,
hours,
sir,
it looks
do you know
crazy,
how
but
many people would be happy if we invaded Russia? You know how many Russians would be happy if we invaded Russia?
That's not. First of all, it's never gonna happen. It's never gonna go down that path.
Sir. Listen.
Yes.
Okay. There are some
I'm with you
Venezuelans
on
that are
that.
happy. That's great. There's a bunch of other Venezuelans that are not happy. That's freaking
No,
horrible.
so show
Okay.
me. So show me the people who are not happy then.
The
Show me
people
the
that were
data.
literally
That's not
protesting
true.
in the streets this morning.
Bro, right now, if you go on any social media, they're
Sir,
as in a whole, Venezuela is cheering and
my
they're pulling down
observation,
statues
sir,
of what's his name. They're
sir,
pulling down all his statues
sir,
because they're happy.
sir.
They were under control the past 26 years.
Are
brother.
you
What are
done?
you talking about? Huh?
Jesus, sir, my scope of visual goes outside of social media. Okay, there was some people
What are you talking
protesting
about
in.
social media. This has nothing to do
Sir,
with social
shut
media.
up! I'm talking.
Dude, do you have any family from South America?
Yes.
I doubt
Now
it.
shut the fuck up.
Do you? Yeah, I doubt
All right,
it.
sir.
And then
Here,
you're
how about
talking about
this?
stuff like this.
Sir, it sounds like you don't want to have a conversation. You just want to talk.
I've been having a conversation.
No,
You've
you
been cutting
haven't.
me
You're
off the
just
past
you're
2
just
minutes, bro.
grandstanding, sir.
You've been cutting me off. I let you speak multiple times. So
Sir,
I
you
can
don't
go
let
back
me
to the live
speak. I
discussion
let you.
myself.
I allow you
And,
to speak.
and on top of it, I'm
See, this is why.
videos.
Remember why when that guy earlier was like, "Why don't you bring up people on your TikTok box?" And I was like, "Cause y'all just freaking think that you guys are owed something, and you guys just freaking monologue and yell
Are
and
you
scream."
smacked? I'm that
And
guy
I'm
you
like,
asked
and
you
I'm
that.
like, and
I
I'm
asked you
like,
that.
and I'm like, yeah, I just get tired of hearing y'all. And that he literally goes and does the exact thing, which is the reason why I don't bring up TikTok guests, is because they do this exact thing and they don't want to have conversations.
Bro, I let you speak, and every time I speak, you cut me off talking about bro.
He just hung up. I didn't even fucking hang up on him. I didn't even hang up on him. Like literally, I was going to show proof of the things that I was trying to say. Why would I hang up on him? I was trying to prove him wrong. But he wouldn't allow it. Anyways, y'all, please make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I appreciate you guys. It's crazy how happy everyone is that Donald Trump is breaking the law. Anyways, hello.
Yeah, hey, you got a good show going today.
Not really. Bunch of crash out callers.
Well, Venezuela popped off, so everybody's a little bit heated, but I actually
don't know
have
why.
an opinion on that.
All right, are you a Trump supporter?
Yeah, I am. I'm definitely a Trump supporter, and I have an opinion on Venezuela.
Okay.
You know what? I had to do some research before I called in because you always bring the big guns, and I don't want to be one of those that talk over you. So real quick, if you know the CIA history in Venezuela, your oil point is very valid, but I think it has more to do with Taiwan and China's influence in the $19 billion. I'd like to hear what your opinion is on that.
Yeah, so that falls within like the Monroe Doctrine, right? Like idea of Western Hemisphere imperialism from the United States, right? Personally, I'm like not for that, right? I really do think that we should be concentrating on the United States. I don't think that we should be going to war or invading countries because of oil, right? Like if we were going to actually be like the world police and we were just going to go around taking on like dictators, then all right, I guess that's just kind of what we do, but it's not really what we're doing. And we're trying to establish some same thing that we try to do in Honduras, same thing we try to do in Guatemala, same thing we try to do in, I believe we did try to do it in Chile. We've done it in multiple countries where we just go in, we destabilize these regions, we try to put, pro-American
I've seen Team America.
regimes in them, and
I get
then
it.
and it's all from a capitalistic standpoint. Like that's all it is.
I get it. It's just I think the timing is strange with China's action in the Taiwanese Sea right now. And Russia, it's very bold of them to be like the pot calling the kettle black with the Ukraine situation. It's just, I think it's more of a Trump waving his, war stick. I'm anti-war too. One of the reasons why I voted for Trump originally was the peace that he's kind of done in the Middle East. Well, it's a complicated subject that I don't think anybody's qualified to have an opinion on unless you live there. But Venezuela makes the most sense. Monroe Doctrine, you said it yourself. Let's clean up our backyard, lock the fence, put up a beware of dog sign.
Yeah, but that's not, we need to worry about our actual fences. Like, we have
trying to build
actual
it.
fences.
He's literally trying to build the fence.
No, he's the one who actually stopped us from being able to build the fence, right? His policies in shooting down the Langford bill actually stopped us from actually having a literal fence around the United States. But beyond that, Okay. What I'm saying is the United States is going in the wrong direction economically, right? Like our unemployment
I
rate
agree.
is going up, right? Our freaking we're losing jobs at an astounding rate, right? Our prices are going through the roof. And Donald Trump gets on Fox News this morning and literally says, like, I don't know if this is like the quiet part out
I
loud
saw it.
or what
It
it
was
was,
crazy. Yeah,
but
it was
literally
crazy.
said, we're doing this for oil. We have great oil companies that can super benefit from us doing this. Like he's not even
Well,
trying to
Alaska has
claim
more oil, anyways.
like
I
he's
mean,
not even trying to claim that we're
I
doing this
know.
because of a dictator, right? You know what I'm saying? Like it and again, like if we were doing it strictly to like, you know, to free Venezuela from this dictatorship and we were
We're
going to
not.
like you know, like bring in Machado and she's supposed to like run the country because she was the democratically elected like, you know, president and all sorts of stuff, then I'd be like, okay, weird, not a fan, but like whatever. You know what I'm saying?
It's a
Like
dick measuring contest. I
yeah.
totally agree, but at the same point, you know, you're asking why I support Trump is because at least he has the balls to do it. In Venezuela, there might be some stuff happening behind the scenes that we're not aware of, or it is just a stupid, like, you know, middle finger to China. But what's happening, from my understanding, is this is, you know, political. We're playing a big game of Risk right now, and I'm not going to pretend to know. I'm just curious. Maybe the one question I haven't asked you yet is, who do you think could do a better job? Any politician? Like, just curious, and I might agree with you.
I think most politicians could do better, but I think that this actually sets a very bad precedent for what this actually tells countries like China, what this actually tells countries like Russia, right? Countries that, you know, have imperialistic, you know, ideologies, right? That we, you know, like that our president just went in without congressional approval against the law and just invaded a country and just removed the person that was in charge of that country, whether that was, you know, even though it was legitimate, right? Even though it was illegitimate that he was even there, right? That he just has the ability to do that. When China specifically has wanted to take over Taiwan for a long time. Like this, I mean, to me, that kind of sounds like
So you
Donald Trump.
acknowledge Taiwan is not part of China.
Correct.
Don't tell China that.
Well, China's never claimed that they were, right? I don't think me
Yeah,
saying
no,
that.
no. Literally, that's the whole thing. Is it's never not been China. With he got in trouble. Trump got in trouble for saying it wasn't China.
Yeah, I know that there's some complexities in the way that we have claimed as the United States the position on Taiwanese sovereignty, right? Like, and we've
Hong
had some
Kong
questions on
can
that.
also enter the chat.
Huh?
Hong Kong can also enter the chat.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But like when you have somebody like China who like wants to do that, right? And they watch the United States act like this, it almost feels like it gives them just a permission to go in and do things to, you know, to Taiwan, to Hong Kong, right? Like how far does that even stretch to places like Singapore or anything like that, right?
Devil's advocate, maybe it's the previous administration who was just, you know, auto penning it in. And now we're showing like, hey, dude, it is kind of, and to be fair to your point where I think you might agree, like, I don't think we should have military shows of force. I don't agree with that. But I think they forget what we're capable of. And China's only 5 years behind us technologically if they play their cards right. My understanding anyways, and I could be wrong. But yeah, dude, sometimes you got to flex.
Sure, we literally just bombed Iran from like fucking Wyoming.
I'm okay with that.
Well, I'm not okay with it because it actually puts them closer to getting a nuclear war. But what I'm saying is, I don't think anybody needed a reminder that we're the baddest military on the planet. Like we flex that quite often. Like I said, I give the troops props. Like when I woke up this morning, I was like, the troops went in and just snatched up Maduro out of his own fucking. First of all,
it is
and can I just make a completely like off thing? Like if another country can just come take you out of your country, like in a half an hour,
crazy.
you weren't a very good dictator of that country. I'm just throwing that out there, right? Like, do you think we could go to North Korea?
I was
like, do you think we could go to North Korea in a half an hour and just take Kim Jong-un out? You know, like, give me a fucking break. Like that was fucking impressive. I will give them that. I give our troops like the utmost respect on that.
When Obama
that was super
got
impressive.
Osama,
Right.
I said the same thing. I was like, hell
Of
yeah.
course.
I mean, one less dictator or whatever the hell he was. So cool.
Right, like
Common
our
ground.
military is excellent, but that's why it's even more important that the person that is guiding that military, right? That biggest, baddest motherfucker of a military, right? The person that's guiding that understands the situation and understands the consequences that can happen with his actions, right? Which I don't think Donald Trump does. But even more importantly, it's even more important that Congress is involved, because Congress has to be a check on how the president uses that military, right? And that's why it is so important.
What the legal,
right?
I'd ask AI what the legality of what we did was, and it didn't even really have an answer. So, I
legal.
I tend to agree, because what they did was, my understanding is they like this narco terrorism. They put a different name on it so that you don't need to ask for Congress, and I think that needs to be investigated so it can't happen in the future.
Yeah, under what law is narco terrorism, by the way?
Exactly. No, it's confusing. If you redesignate it, you don't need Congress's approval.
Then
I went down and
it don't work like that. Yeah, it don't work like that.
No,
it don't work like that. Right? They're trying to claim it as part of terrorism because there were certain parts of like Middle East, war powers that were specifically granted to the executive by Congress after 9/11, right? In order to, and to conduct, missions in the Middle East. That does not apply to Venezuela, right? And even if we talk about like the invasion of Iraq, right? Bush still went to Congress.
Left field. I had to do research, and I try to watch a lot of news. I watch your show daily now for the past week, and I try to keep up on the other side, but this feels like it's a precedent that shouldn't be set.
Correct. And again, like if I think I have a little bit of a different view on this whole situation. If A, it wasn't about oil, maybe that's B. It wasn't about oil was probably B. A is if Congress knew about this and gave the okay. Right.
Did you hear what Rubio said about Congress, though? He said that we weren't because of the leak. So Trump's point was, if we tell Congress, they will leak it. And he's not wrong, but also that's scary, because I agree that our representatives should have a say in what
the
seems
last two leaks came from
Franz Ferdinand.
The last two leaks came from the Department of Defense.
World War I started.
Hold on. The last two leaks came from the Department of Defense.
Oh, I know. No,
what are you talking about?
He's not keeping his. No, I totally yes. No. But here's the thing. That was his excuse when giving that 11 o'clock press conference this morning that I watched the entirety of, and he was like puppeteering Marco Rubio. Like little Marco had Trump's hand up his butt.
This whole thing is Rubio. Let's be very, very clear. This entire thing is Rubio. Rubio has, he's been a very the American Cuban communities in the United States fucking hate Maduro. They've been very, very vocal about it. And Marco Rubio has been very, very vocal about wanting to fucking be about being anti-Maduro and against the Venezuelan regime and like all sorts of stuff. He's been insanely vocal about this. This has not been like hidden.
I need to do some more research, because I just thought Marco Rubio was a puppet.
He generally is, but not on this one. This has the smellings of Marco Rubio. All like,
Ted Cruz,
which by the way, where Venezuela, like it's actually where Trump said, I still don't know what he means by this. By the way, he says the United States is going to run Venezuela, right? Which let's not even get into
and the
how
woman
bad
they put in charge.
How many things that could mean. But Rubio's going to be controlling that entire situation. I guarantee it.
Well, so the one last thing I'll leave you, and then I'll let you take another call from somebody that might get you some more views. Are we all not acknowledging that the dude's name was Raising Cain?
It's his call sign, dude. It's his call sign.
Trump was like, he was giggling like Raising Cain.
He's General Cain. He was a fighter pilot. His call sign was Raising.
Yeah, I know, but Trump likes it a little too much. He was giggling. He's like, I like the chicken and I like the general.
Yeah, okay, sure. I guess that's fine. Anyways, I'm going to move on to somebody else. I hope you have a good one, all right?
Good day.
Yeah, you too.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just pilots have call signs, man. You ever watch Top Gun? Anyways, we're going to keep this thing going. Please make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Danielle, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Said Israel had international law on life support and Trump just pulled the cord. Rip international law. Yeah, I mean, granted, was he really caring that much about international law to begin with? Like, let's be honest. Just to be completely honest. But thank you so much, Danielle. I really appreciate the $5 super chat. And Jay said, no new wars, right? Oh, wait. Yeah, what? President of Peace. I deserve the Nobel Peace Prize. I've bombed so many people that there's peace now. And Concierge, thank you so much for the $5 super chat also. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right, we're going to keep this thing moving. We're going to take at least 1 or 2 more callers, I think. Can we clear out this little live gift goal over on TikTok? I really appreciate that. I think we only need like 2 more. And where are we sitting on those likes? I can't really see the whole thing over there. Oh, I like 271. Let's get that thing up to 300,000 likes too. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. If you guys like support, I do have super chats, super stickers, all fun stuff. Pay links in the bio, blah, 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 blah. If you guys like support, I really, really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Hello, how are you?
Hello. I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. How old are you?
I'm 20.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
I do.
Awesome. Why is that?
Actually, I don't know if this is okay. I would like to actually ask you a question.
What's up?
So, I want to know what you think about the whole Charlie Kirk assassination. Do you think it was staged? Do you think it was real?
I mean, it's real. He got assassinated.
Well, yeah,
saw
I
the
know
video.
that.
Yeah, he's
But like,
pretty sure he's gone.
do you think it was like an inside job, or do you think it was an actual?
I don't fucking know,
who
dude.
they said it was.
I don't know, dude. The dude's dead, and he shouldn't have been shot. That's about as far as my thought process goes into it. He's dead. It shouldn't have
Yeah.
happened. Whoever did it was wrong, and Erica seems a lot happier. Those are literally my all of my thoughts towards it.
I would say I agree. At first, I was like, okay, she's, weeping widow, but like after the whole situation where she came out on stage with like a glitter suit on, I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like something's up about it, and I just wanted to know your opinion on it.
Yep, that's my whole opinion.
All right. Well, thank you. That was all. I was just curious about that, so I
Yeah,
appreciate you.
No worries, man. Have a good one.
You too. Bye bye.
That's my entire opinion. I don't know. I know friggin' Candace Owens has her own her own thing. Oh, can we get this thing up to 300,000 likes? I really appreciate you guys. There's like over 1,000 people in here. Let's get this thing up to 3,000 likes. I appreciate you guys. 300,000 likes. Sorry. Hello. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
25.
Awesome. Do you still support Trump?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Why is that?
You want to know why?
Yep.
Yeah, I think that first and foremost, the deportation policy, the mass deportations that are being carried out. I think
Dude,
are
your
a great
reception
thing
is
for the
not
country.
good.
You can hear me?
You're breaking up.
Okay, listen. I think the mass deportations for the country have been a great thing, as well as the actions that have been taken out recently in Venezuela. Willing to
Okay.
debate either one of those.
First of all, what mass deportation? Second of all, how is it a good thing?
I think that, first of all, the self-deportations that have been carried out, as well as the ICE deportations that we're seeing, that I think you would recognize because your side has a big fuss about ICE going into communities and detaining immigrants, specifically illegal immigrants, and deporting them. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, what proof do you have that any type of high level of self-deportations is happening?
Well, besides the self-deportations, we can just talk about the actual deportations that are.
Yeah, I think
being
ICE is
rounded up and
reporting
taken out
what,
by
like
ICE.
500,000 deportations this year?
Say that again?
What is ICE reporting? Like 500,000 deportations this year?
It's about a little less, but yeah.
A little less? That's less than what Biden did last year. So how is this a mass deportation?
How many of the self-deportations are taken into account on top of the, let's say, 450,000?
I'll give them 100,000
that ICE
maybe.
has taken out this year.
That's like the high level of independent freaking study that I've seen. About 100,000.
Okay, and how many did Biden have in his, let's say, first 8 months of office?
First 8 months of office. Donald Trump's been president for a year.
Yeah, I understand, but I'm talking about the 8 months post. Of
Sir, we're not talking about the first
in office.
Biden, the first part. We're talking about the last year Biden. Last year, there was 685,000 deportations. This year, there's like 500,000.
Okay, and how many but besides the deportations, how many illegal immigrants entered the country under Biden?
Sir,
Well,
we're not switching the subject about that. You're
well, they
saying that a
offset.
sir,
So I'm saying
listen,
they're
listen, listen.
relevant to the point.
Sir, you're saying that there is a mass deportation happening. How is it a mass deportation under Trump if there was less than it was under Biden? That is the question
You
I'm
don't
asking
think
you.
there's a mass deportation happening?
I'm asking you. Because if that's
No,
the
well,
case,
this is-
sir, if
this
you're
is a
saying
good
there's a
point then,
mass
because-
deportation this year, then you're saying there was a mass deportation before he came in.
There's a mass deportation operation that is being put in place. I think that we'll see the numbers go much higher this year as well.
Okay, so there's not a mass deportation happening.
It is happening. It's being put
Gotcha.
in place
So there
right
was a
now,
mass
and you're seeing
deportation
the
under
first
Biden
stages of
also.
it. So do you think that there's not a mass deportation happening? Because I think a lot of people on your side would disagree.
Sir, you don't know what my side is.
Are you on the left side?
Sir, if you have to
spectrum?
ask, then you already don't know what my side is.
All right, well, maybe you could clarify your side.
Maybe
common
you
ground.
maybe you should just think about that like what side somebody's on. This isn't a side, sir. This isn't a team game. This isn't fucking, I'm not rooting for my favorite NFL team. Okay?
There's no side of the political spectrum.
It's a spectrum.
Exactly. Which side on the spectrum do you fall closer towards, the left or the right, or you centrist?
I fall closer to the left.
Okay, then that's my point. So I think a lot of people on the left side would disagree with you that there is a mass deportation happening. And I
No,
think they're
there's
pretty
an
upset
there's
about
an
it.
unconstitutional deportation happening. There's an inhumane deportation happening,
Oh.
but they're nowhere hitting the numbers that they think that they're hitting. That they're trying
What
to
about
say that they're
deporting
hitting.
illegal immigrants is inhumane?
Deporting them is not inhumane. Putting them in inhumane situations where they're subjected to torture is a bad thing. Ripping apart families is inhumane. Building concentration camps is inhumane. All of those things are inhumane.
So you're saying that we have concentrations in America for illegal immigrants where
Yes.
they're being murdered and tortured?
No, murder and torture is not a necessity for concentration camp.
But you said they're being tortured. So would you concede that they're not being tortured?
I didn't say they were being tortured in the United States.
You just did. Like literally 5 seconds ago, your chat agreed that you just said they're being tortured.
I did say that they were being tortured. I did not say they were being tortured in the United States.
Okay, but I'm not talking about foreign policy. I'm talking about the United
This isn't foreign
States
policy, sir. The Donald Trump administration is spending American tax dollars to ship migrants who have committed no crime and deport them into a prison in El Salvador that is known for torture.
Okay, so how many cases of illegal immigrants have been deported to El Salvador?
Sir, sent to El Salvador to specifically this prison. If it's more than one, why does it matter?
Well, I'm just curious. I don't know. I'm asking how many has that happened?
At
One?
least a few hundred.
Okay, so I would disagree, and I have not seen the evidence on that at all.
You've never heard of CCOT?
Of course I have, but those are typically Salvadorian nationalists that were born there.
Actually,
that
generally
live
they're
in the United
Venezuelan.
States that are criminals.
Actually, generally they're Venezuelan, and none of them were convicted of a crime to be sent there.
So they had no prior convictions or criminal.
Sure, yeah, you can have prior
Be a
convictions of
law-abiding
stuff, sir.
citizen
Sir, if you have a
United States
prior
ever sent you
conviction,
to
does that mean I
prison?
can just send you to prison?
I think that if you're a felon in our country, then you have to abide by certain policies to be in the country.
Yeah, sir,
Specifically
but it
criminal
doesn't mean
offense.
sir, if you committed a felony 10 years ago, does that mean I can send you to prison now?
Well, let me ask you: if you committed a felony 10 years ago, do you have the right to own a gun, or do you have certain rights?
Sir, this isn't a right to own a gun situation. You're saying that somebody committed a felony a long time ago,
Yeah,
served
their
their
right to
sir,
be-
listen,
exactly.
listen,
It's the
listen,
same
listen,
concept
sweetheart,
as life.
listen. Hello. What you said, or you're saying is that somebody committed a felony a whole long time ago. They served their sentence for whatever that felony was, and then they're free walking around, and now they can be picked up and thrown into a torture prison because they had a felony way back then.
Yeah, I'd love to see the specific case of who you're talking about.
I would love to see the specific cases you're talking about because I don't believe any of them had convictions of felonies whatsoever.
I don't believe there's any evidence supporting that legal immigrants in the country have been sent to prison.
Sir, I don't care
Well,
whether they're legal immigrants or non-legal immigrants. That does not mean that you can
Okay,
be sent to
so it's
prison
only-
and tortured.
Okay, let me ask you: is entering the country illegally a crime?
Yes, it is a misdemeanor. Class C.
So every single illegal immigrant that is in our country is
And what is the
criminal.
punishment for that crime?
Deportation back to your country.
Correct. So it's not torture prison.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So
But
I
if
have
they-
a
if we
problem
release them
if
back
we
to
are
their
sending
country and their
people. Sir,
country
I don't know why you're
puts
having such a hard time with this. So I have a problem with people being sent to a torture prison. Yeah, because
Okay.
under that misdemeanor, right, you can be deported. 100% correct, you can. And if you're just being deported under that crime for the crime that you committed with the due process that belongs to it, then I have no issue with you being deported. I think that that's actually, part of what keeps having a good country, right? Of doing those type of things.
Right.
But that's not what we're talking about here. First of all, sir, do you know what is it a criminal or civil offense to be in the country illegally?
Entering the country illegally.
I'm not talking about entering the
is
country
a
illegally.
criminal
These people
offense.
were already here. Okay. So is that a criminal or a civil matter?
So I understand your point now, and I will say that I agree with you that I don't think that that let's say specifically an illegal immigrant to a prison camp and tortured. I agree with that. Obviously, I don't think I would advocate for that. However, let's say that an El Salvadorian comes to this country illegally, Trump deports them back to their country, and then their president puts them in that prison camp. Why is that Trump's fault?
It's not,
Trump
but that's not
harbors
what
illegal
happened.
immigrants because he knows their fate.
It's not, but that's not what happened.
But that's exactly what's happening.
No,
Trump is
we
not-
said
Trump is not
literally,
putting
we,
people in a
dude,
prison
Donald
in
Trump
El
came,
Salvador.
sir,
Their own
Donald Trump came on television and said, I met with the president of El Salvador. We are going to send migrants to his prison there. And then we spent American taxpayer dollars to fund them being in that prison. Donald Trump, this
Yeah,
isn't like
so-
this isn't
so
like a
that
hidden
has
thing.
no
Donald Trump
correlation with-
specifically said that we are sending them there to put them in that prison.
Okay. I don't think that's a bad thing.
Again, the torture prison in the country they're not from.
So, what evidence do you have that they're being tortured?
How about an entire 60 Minutes documentary that just came out?
I'd love to watch it.
You should. Unfortunately, Trump's lackeys got the thing canceled, so you can only watch it in Canada. But
Do you think that liberating Venezuela from their dictator Maduro was a good thing or a bad thing? Objective.
I don't think that these things are objective. I think that Maduro not being in power is a good thing. I think that Donald Trump doing an illegal act under the United States Constitution in order to do it is a bad thing.
Why? Because he didn't have congressional approval.
Correct.
So, do you think that the president, the commander in chief, has the ultimate thing to do act or no?
I'm sorry. Again, your reception is horrible. What did you say?
So you would concede that it's a good thing that Maduro's no longer in power.
Sure. I would also believe it's a good
So-
thing that frickin', the leader of Saudi Arabia is not in power, or the leader of Qatar's not in power, or the leader of Russia's not in power, or that Kim Jong-un's not in power. I think it'd probably be better if she wasn't in power. I think that there's a lot of leaders that it would be better if they're not in power. But just because there's leaders across the world that'd be better if they're not in power does not give the president unanimous ability to just go in there and remove them. And let's also be very clear, okay, that the rest of the people I just named that were committing all of those horrible acts that should not be in power, Donald Trump calls them friends.
Okay, but we'll talk about that. But right now, specifically with Maduro, so you think that the action by Trump was a good thing, but the way he did it was bad because he didn't go through Congress.
I think we'll
With
see whether it's a
congressional
good thing, sir.
approval,
There's
you
no-
would have supported that action of
Sir-
the removal.
Sir,
and
just the removal
detention
does
of Maduro.
nothing. Just the removal
Sorry?
of a president does absolutely fucking nothing. Okay, it doesn't change. It doesn't change. It does, sir. It doesn't change who's in power in the country. It doesn't bring any food or anything into the country. It doesn't stop humanitarian rights violations. It doesn't do any of that stuff. Okay,
But
so
didn't Trump not come
sir,
out
sir,
and
sir. I'm
say
still
he's gonna
answering. I'm
control
still
the
answering,
government
sir.
until they
I'm
can
still
find
answering,
leadership?
sir. I'm still answering.
Well, you're just you're going in circles, but you're not.
Sir,
you're not,
sir, I am trying to answer.
conceding to
Yeah,
what
because you
you're
just keep
arguing with.
asking me the same question, so I keep giving you the same answer.
I
You
didn't
keep-
ask the same question. I asked you, with congressional approval, would you have supported Trump's decision to remove
And I was in the
Maduro as
middle of
president?
answering that, and you just cut me off.
All right, go ahead.
You guys want just such quick yes and no answers on very complicated situations. Okay.
Well, it's just like, do you support it?
What's
Like,
what's
you can say no, I
was
didn't
was
support
the
it, or yes, I
removal
do
was
support it.
was the removal of the Panamanian president in like 1989 a good thing or a bad thing?
I'm talking about Maduro.
I
Why
understand
can't you
what you're
just answer
talking about,
that?
sir. Answer my question. Was the removal?
No, I'm not answering the question with
Of
a
course you're
question.
not, sir,
You're-
because that would
you need
require
to-
you understanding anything about what the other regime changes that we have committed in Central and South America with the United States and the history of all of that and the power vacuums that have happened, the destabilizations of the regions, the destabilizations of the countries, and the millions of deaths that are attributed to it.
Okay.
So I
understand what
cannot
you're saying,
answer
and I-
unequivocally whether something that happened, the removal of a singular president on the morning it happened, is going to be a good thing in the long term for Venezuela or a bad thing or a neutral point. Okay?
I
That is what I am
understand.
saying.
Context is important.
Historically, it's not worked out well. Okay?
Okay.
Historically, it's not worked out well. Will this one work out good or bad? We will have to find out whether it works out good or bad. Okay. But that should have been the decision of the representatives of the people. Okay. That is Congress. Okay. That should have been the decision of Congress on whether we were going to stick our nose into it. Okay. We will find out whether like Maduro being gone right off the top of my head probably sounds like a pretty good thing. Okay. But we don't know how this is going to work out in the long term, and making a decision on whether this was a good thing or a bad thing 12 hours after it happened is just ignorance.
I agree. I think we have to see it play out, and I understand that, but it's good to know that you support Trump's decision to remove him off the top of your head. Like,
I do
on
not
a first
support Trump's
glance.
decision at all
You just said that off the top of
because
my
I
head.
don't believe that it should have been Trump's decision.
So the president shouldn't have the power to determine that type of decision.
100%. And the Constitution very much spells it out that he does not.
Well, he did it. I think it's a good thing. Sounds like
Okay.
you do too.
Well, again, and just like I said, sir, anybody who is willing to make a decision on whether this is a good thing or a bad thing 12 hours after it happens is being willfully ignorant.
Well, we've seen what Venezuela looks like under Maduro for the last 12 years.
And who says the next person's not going to be worse?
Because the United States has come out and said that we are going to control the country and run the country until new leadership is appointed.
Gotcha. So now we're imperialists.
I think that we have the better interest in mind for the country than a dictator.
You know
the
what?
Same
You-
way that
you
I
know-
would support this
you
decision
know in the-
for North Korea.
Yeah, you know what like one of the last countries who did that to us?
Why, you think Afghanistan?
Well, that's a great example too. That wasn't what I was going to say, but that's a great example of the United States coming in and trying to control a country and their government and all sorts of stuff, and watching the freaking destruction and how the country completely imploded afterwards.
Yeah, I
Libya is
didn't
another
support
great example.
that.
Libya is another great example of us trying to do regime change, put more favorable U.S. governments in there, and watching the country implode. Right? We can talk
I
about
didn't
we.
support that. But then you'll look at how Biden disgracefully removed all of our troops from Afghanistan, left millions
Wow.
and millions of dollars.
You know,
of
it's
equipment
funny.
and
I brought
weapons,
up Panama
then
and
the
you lost
Taliban
your
took over,
whole
and their
mind.
women are
But
being
now you want to
murdered
talk
in the
about
streets,
Biden.
as
That's
well as their
fucking
men.
crazy, dude.
Why is that crazy? Is
Can
that
you
not what happened?
aren't you guys just amazed that Biden just cleared up his 5th year as president? Isn't it amazing?
What did you say?
Biden must have just finished his freaking 5th year of presidency, because the way y'all talk about fucking Biden, it's like he never fucking left, dude.
No, it's just like that's like, okay, and then I'll ask you why it's relevant that I brought him up. Do you think Biden or Trump is a better president?
Biden.
Okay, that's why I'm using that example. That's someone
That has nothing to do with any of that, sir. Sir, who negotiated the entire Afghan pullout, including leaving a skeleton crew there, which his generals also said that would cause exactly what happened to happen? Oh yeah, that was Trump, who also released, like, forget all of those prisoners, all of those Taliban prisoners from custody as part of that agreement. Those exact prisoners who were the exact people that killed those troops that were leaving Afghanistan. Oh, that was also Trump.
You know who I think would be a really good president?
I do not care. You want to respond to what I just said?
Nick Fuentes for president. America first. Good goy, good goy. Groiper, Groiper, Groiper.
They're not too bright, are they? Those Groper guys aren't very bright. They're not very bright. Stratos, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Said Maduro's plane's landing in New York right now. His plane? I thought he was on a boat. When did he get on a plane? I've been on live since then. When I got on live, he was on the USS Iwo Jima. Not even gonna try to butcher this name. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Said keep fighting the good fight, Paulie. You, Dean, and Parker. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I'm gonna call you 1697. Oh, dude. Fussy hash me. Yo, please make sure you hit that follow button, hit the subscribe button. I really appreciate you guys. Turn those notifications if you haven't already. I really do appreciate the super chat. There's zero chance I'm reading that correctly without screwing it up. If you'd like to support the live, do super chats, all that fun stuff. Blah 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 blah, yada yada yada. All the support things. Do we ever get to 300,000 likes? All right, well, cool. We got to 300,000 likes, so I'm a little happier. Oh, dude, I was gonna butcher the hell out of that. All right. Hash me? Yeah, I guess. Anyways, I think I'm gonna call it a day. The conversations today have just been literal MAGA crash outs, like freaking literal MAGA crash outs about this Venezuela thing. It is very weird and an inability to think logically, and I'm kind of tired of having it. But anyways, I will see you guys tomorrow. I might do a joint one with Ari tomorrow. We'll see. Hash me. Got it. Thank you so much. And Shadow says, went to Gitmo, then flown from New York City by DOJ. Gotcha. Makes sense. All right, y'all. I'm going to go watch this Panthers game. I want to see the Panthers win today, but sorry, not starting out very good. So, anywho, hope you guys have a wonderful day. Love you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Maybe one with Ari tomorrow. We'll see. I'm not really sure. Besides that, love you guys. See you guys later, all right? Bye. Love you guys.